his self-esteem just like went up the roof. But the thing of it is like the whole entire family was on board.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Earrings Off. We want to invite you to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. You can find us on Facebook at Earrings Off Podcast and on Instagram at The Earrings Off Podcast.
Welcome to Earrings Off. I'm Lou.
And I'm Teresa. Let's get started.
Today, Lou and I are speaking to Angie. Angie is a certified group fitness instructor with a passion for helping young children between the ages of 3 and 19 help them reach their best health and their fitness goals. Angie has worked with American Family Fitness, where she taught an adult circuit class. And pre-COVID, she could be found every second Sunday, leading her congregation in 15 minutes of spirit-filled exercise prior to the service. Angie, welcome to Earrings Off.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you for agreeing to chat with us today. So we're going to jump right in. Angie, if you would just talk about your interest in fitness, your supported children, and just how you got onto this journey.
Okay, so my fitness came about when I realized my daughter was obese. We would go to the doctors and they would just say, oh, she's just off her age. And I'm like, okay. So I didn't think anything of it until I would go to the stores and I would have to shop in the Big Mama section for her. And I would be in the kids section. And she would get so upset and I didn't know what to do. I felt bad. You know, she would get so upset, you know, when I have like these little small clothes and she has to wear these big clothes. So one year during Lent, I said that we would walk around the neighborhood. And so the walk was like about a mile or so, and it would be Monday through Friday. And, you know, she, you know, mumble under her breath, of course. So I just kept saying, you'll thank me later, you'll thank me later, you'll thank me later, you'll thank me later. We gave up meat too at the same time.
Yeah.
But she lost like so much weight. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, something clicked. I was like, I think I have something here. That's how it started. Because her self-esteem shot up big time, you know, and now she's in the section where we're both shopping in the same section.
Right.
Yeah. That's how it all started. Yep.
And you know what? That's I'm so glad you shared that, because you as a mom, right, when you see something affecting your kid, particularly when medical personnel are telling you and you feel like there's judgment there, right? You haven't done, because that's what we all feel as moms. Like, wait a minute, what is this? But it motivated you to start on your fitness journey. I never knew that, because folks, I tell you, Angie is fit, and that's amazing to me. Wow.
Thank you. I also wanted to say, one of my church members, she had a client she was bringing them to this program called Hope. At the time, the CEO was looking for a trainer. Yeah, she goes, I know someone, you know, that, you know, be great for kids. They're energetic, and, you know, got in touch with her. That's where I started really working with kids. I mean, just straight obese kids. Just the joy of seeing kids losing weight. It's just something else. And, you know, it's really, you know, gave me hope that, you know, we can get rid of the obesity that's, you know, in the country, you know, today. So if everybody works together. Yep.
Right. Well, and you know,
I want to go ahead and just go back to something you said in the very beginning, you know, about it seems to be kind of a recurring theme here at Earrings Off. When we talk to people, the doctors told you, oh, no worries, she's just tall for her age. Right. But you as a mother, you as a mother realized it could have been a little bit more and took some action. And that's one thing that I don't want us to just kind of gloss over, because there is a difference, and I don't care what people say. There's a difference in the way that Black people are treated by healthcare professionals. And we do have to be our own advocates. And so I'm so thankful that you just didn't listen to that, and you saw what was happening in your daughter's reactions and and how she felt about herself, and what you knew to be right, followed through with, taking advantage of the opportunity to make a change in her life.
And I want to talk about, Angie, the part that you referenced about self-esteem, because we know when kids are developing, other kids can be bully, they can bully, they can, they say mean things to other kids. And so that's a critical time.
Oh, definitely.
They're developing to say how they're going to feel about themselves. But one thing that you did that I don't want, like Teresa made the point that we can't overlook the fact that sometimes we're dismissed and not, not listened to or not given correct information when it comes to our health or even the health of our children. But also you did something that I don't want parents to dismiss. You not only, said to her, okay, we're going to attack this. You got in it with her. And that's important, that we not just tell kids, don't eat this or you need to exercise. We have to be the role models of health for our children. They can't see us saying, you need to lay off those potato chips and we're eating them. They can't see us saying you need to get outside and get some exercise. And yet we're being sedentary. So we have to be the ones to show. And I mean, it's critical, because some people may think, okay, well, a gym membership is a luxury. It's not a luxury when it comes to your health. If you can spend money on a Louis Vuitton bag and all of the other stuff, you have to care enough about your health to recognize, as a family, working out is a great thing for the family to do, for you to role model for your children. So that's important, Angie, the fact that you didn't just speak to her, because many times we don't need to chastise. We don't need to be in their face. Just show them that we're making some different choices, that we're actually eating the baked chicken as opposed to the fried chicken, that we're making small choices, and that we're trying to actively, without using verbal words, we're trying to show them through our actions how to live healthier. So that's some good stuff there.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Lou, I hear you saying that back in the day, I could have said to my mom, hold on, pump the brakes now. This whole do as I say and not as I do thing is not real. That shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm preaching to myself too, because we have to get beyond that. And I've shared this before. I did a lot of things as a parent. Now I realize may not have been the best choices, but one thing I do pat myself on the back about is that my kid has always seen us going to the gym. We took him working out. When we were younger, we made sure he was active. So it's nothing but for us to talk. And I say, did you go to the gym this week? He's like, yeah, Mom, I worked out yesterday. Oh, I'm on my way to gym. Mom, I have to give you a call later. That's a part of his lifestyle.
Right.
And so I might have had a lot of screw ups, but that's not what the show is about today. We'd probably need 2 or 3 shows for that. But this day, I do know that was one thing I did right. So but kudos to you, Angie, for that.
Thank you.
But now, so Angie, talk to us a little bit about how do you, in your work with children, obese children, how do you empower them to keep and maintain a fitness regimen? Because, that's a different relationship from your daughter, where you're there with her all the time and you're role modeling. I was sharing with Teresa earlier that when I used to do counseling, even when there might have been a referral from a physician or someone else to say, okay, you need to go talk to Lou. She's gonna set up some counseling sessions. But even if people knew that this might have been a good thing for them, I had to be able to sell them on what I was offering. They had to buy into a belief that I could help. So what did you do in your roles in fitness to empower children to keep and maintain a fitness regimen? How did you initiate that spark, if you will, in them?
Okay, so what I normally tell kids in fitness, it's not about being skinny, because they always come to me and say, oh, I want to be 110 pounds, and it's like, or 90 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And I always put my hand up, like, do you want to be flat in the front and in the back? Okay. Because you don't want to look like straight up and down. Okay. And so the goal is to be healthy, not to be skinny. That's the number one goal. And everybody's body is different. We're not all going to have the same body. What I tell them to do is, like, get a size that they want. Say if a kid wants to be in a size 9, 10, you envision yourself being in that size. And then, like, for boys, I don't know boys' sizes, so I just know girl sizes, but, just get a size that you want to be in. And then, I tell the kids, ride bikes, because that's a really good exercise.
Yeah.
And then, becoming involved in sports. Are you interested in football, basketball, soccer? A lot of kids are involved in soccer. You don't have to be on a team. You can play outside, on the street. Video games that actually move your body. So it's not a video game that you're just sitting, but, something, where you're actually moving and not realizing that you're working out. Right. And then, the new dances, they're totally different from I mean, some of these dances, just like, you move your arms, you move your legs, you're just doing all this stuff. And I always tell them to do it at least for 10 to 20 minutes. Yeah. Believe it or not, you're going to see changes. But, I just keep telling the kids, when I would work them out, it's, I would give them affirmations. Like, I love myself. I like myself. When we're stretching, I love myself, I like myself. And, some of them will be like, ah. And, I was like, just saying, I love myself. I like myself. Because if you don't like yourself, then other people are not going to like you. That's the number one thing, that you have to like yourself. But I just give them, like, words of encouragement and say, you can do this, it hurts to be beautiful, it hurts to be handsome. There's other things that I say that sometimes I forget, and then they'll come to me and say, yeah, you said, like, I don't remember. But yeah.
But so the way you get them to buy in is that you focus on the health. How important it is to be healthy, not to look a specific way. Right. But to focus on, the health of your body. And that's a message. That's a word, Andrew. I'm telling you, not only for children, it's a word for adults. I think that's an important message for everybody, because we're so caught up into the physical appearance, but and you're right, that is a great indicator of your health, but you don't start there. You focus on the actual health of your body to try to put more nutritious foods into your body, and you're going to see some results. So
definitely. And the media plays a big part in it also. You have to be skinny, and that's not the case.
Thank you for that. You talked a little bit about how you actually were in the trenches with your daughter. You would walk, and you actually changed your diet for the both of you, right? So when you have a child that's when you had a child that was dealing with obesity, and the rest of the family was normal, how did you get that family on board and convince them how important it was for them to support that individual child?
Well, I would let them know that you have to support them, and you have to make the time, because there's a lot of kids that I spoke with, and they would always say, oh, my mom doesn't have time. She's always tired. And, I would say, we have to make sacrifices. I would tell them my story about my daughter. It's like, you have to make time. Everybody has to be on board. It's not just that one kid and that kid singled out, because now, the kid's like, oh, I'm fat.
Yeah.
Everybody else is skinny,
Yeah.
And then they're upset with their other family members because they're the only one that, has the problem. I tell them, if you're going to start this, you have to make a lifestyle change for like the whole entire family. So that means like throwing the junk food away, not bringing more in because you threw the rest out, or not say, well, you're the one that's obese, not me, because a lot of families have done that. But I did know a family that they took their son to the doctors, and he had diabetes, cholesterol, high blood pressure. And she came in the house and she threw everything away, like everything. Started fresh, and he was working out. And it got to the point where I had to tell the kid, I was like, okay, you need to like tone it down, like stop losing out the foot, because oh my gosh, he was probably like 2 something.
Wow.
And we got him down to like 100 and something. I don't know the exact weight, but he looked so good. And like his self-esteem just like went up the roof. But the thing of it is like the whole entire family was on board. The whole entire family was on board. So I feel if everybody's on board, then it won't, the child won't be singled out, because everybody's doing it. Everybody's eating the same foods. Everybody's working out. I tell the parents that's the one thing, like, their child needs support from you. And then the other, family members need to be on that same page as everybody else. Yep.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
And because this is an important discussion, because we are hearing about the numbers of children who are now being diagnosed with diabetes in our community. That's particularly becoming more prevalent. That's something that we have to be paying attention to. The fact that our children are being diagnosed younger and younger of illnesses related to obesity. There's no getting around that. It was bad enough when we're dealing with that, with those issues, and they're health related, they're issues related to our diet. And now our children are being impacted by our choices and our lifestyles. Yeah, this is definitely an important discussion.
The key word being lifestyle, right?
Exactly.
And diabetes. And what we have to realize too is we hear it over and over and over again, and we know it, that diabetes and obesity are directly tied to lifestyle.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. And it's
I should say type 2 diabetes.
Right.
Yes.
But I like the point that you made earlier, Andrew, when you said that just get outside and play soccer. You don't have to be on a team to play basketball.
Oh, no.
You don't, and so many times kids, they think that if they aren't on a team or doing something organized, then that means I don't have to get out there. Yeah, we just get out there and do something. Like you said with your daughter, walk. I mentioned earlier joining a gym, but you can walk, you can get outside and play. Those things don't cost you any money. There are all types of free apps. YouTube has all types of videos, anything you want to do. Just, just turn on your TV. And I do it all the time. I go on, I say free walking exercise, free kickboxing, free beginning yoga, YouTube. That's all you need to say, folks. Just say free yoga, YouTube. It will pop up all kinds of things. So we have to be aware of, not making excuses for ourselves, to use the various resources that are out there. But Angie, I wanted to talk to you a little bit. We wanted to talk to you a little bit about, we know why we know what your motivation was, but what can you tell us about how can you stay motivated to remain healthy and to stay fit and to exercise. What can you offer listeners in terms of, staying motivated, sticking to your fitness regimen? And can you tell us a little bit about that for you personally? And hopefully, I know we'll be able to glean some tips from that.
Okay. Well, my number one motivator, in 2020 was Rona. I didn't want Rona to get me because Rona, when I say Rona, So Rona, I did not want Rona to get me, but Rona did catch me.
What?
Rona got me 10 pounds over my, normal weight. So I said, the devil is a lie. And so what I did was I would get up like at 6:45 every morning, and I would walk around the neighborhood. And so that's like about 3 miles. Mm-hmm. And then I found a walking partner. And so we would walk the neighborhood too. I would do this Monday through Friday. And then I just recently bought a spin bike. Mm-hmm. So I'm on that for 30 minutes. I have a childhood friend that we work out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So she works out every day, but on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I train her on Zoom. Mm-hmm. And so we work on our arms and we work on our abs. We started the second week in January and she's lost 12 pounds already.
What?
So she's trying to get to 20 pounds. So give a shout out to her. But she's like really excited. But yeah, she's lost like 12 pounds since, second week in January. That's what I do. I get up every morning, Monday through Friday, because the weekends, that's me. But there has been times I was working out and I'm just like, oh no, like closing my eyes. I would get on YouTube and do videos also. Sometimes I wouldn't feel like working out, but I was like, gotta do this because I don't want Rona to get me. I don't want Rona to keep me. Yeah. And that's what I do. I get up.
See, I think that's an important point when you talk about, we know what we were dealing with the virus. And we heard the numbers about how it was impacting our community in terms of more hospitalization, more death. Right. And so when you learned of the virus, you made a conscious effort that, okay, I am going to remain healthy and not get not gain weight and not and make sure I'm taking better care of myself because we are in the midst of this. And so that's just like when you said that made me think about you were proactive. And that's what I try to do with myself because my eating can be out of control, particularly if I go to a dinner party or something. Of course, it's pre-pandemic, and I know folks are going to lay out a spread. I have to have a little talk with Lou, like I'm 5 years old before I go. I'm always trying to say, okay, this is what you're going to do. You're not going to eat this. You're going to look at everything because when I start picking up, as soon as I get there, of course, by the time I'm at the end of the line, it's embarrassing all the stuff that's on my plate. So I said, okay, that's not how your mind works. You have to look at things and decide and you're going to make sure to put more raw veggies on your plate and this kind of stuff. So we have to, when we know that we're going to be faced with maybe being less active or maybe being exposed to more food choices, maybe bad food choices, we have to take a minute and develop a strategy because that's what you did for the virus. We have to consciously take a minute and say, okay, I'm going to be in this environment. I do the same thing if I'm going on vacation. Don't go on vacation and think that you're going to be able to gain all of this weight and you're not going to bring it back with you. Right. That's not the way that works. So be cognizant of the fact, yes, you are on vacation, but it doesn't mean that you get to throw everything out because you're on vacation. Exactly. You can try to do portion control and try to make a bit better choices. So that's what you're describing when you talked about your strategy.
Yeah. And I always, tell people and, the kids, it's like, I don't expect you to eat carrots and broccoli and stuff like that. But, just be mindful of what you're eating. And, we all fall off sometimes, but, we can always pick ourselves back up and go from there. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we're human,
Yeah.
but, you just have to be mindful
Right.
of what you're putting into your body, because you
Right.
are, you are what you, what is it? You are what you
What you
eat.
eat. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's a good point too, Andrew, when you talk about not setting unrealistic goals to say, I'm not going to eat this, I'm only going to eat the healthy stuff. Like, we have to allow ourselves some bit of flexibility, but make sure that we are being strategic with that flexibility. If I know that I'm going to have something that I really like, then what else can I cut out that
Right.
day? Or how can I try to provide a better balance? So,
Yeah, this is good stuff. And I don't want, we've talked a lot about children, but I don't want the adults who are listening to miss the fact that all of this applies to them as well.
yeah.
Oh, definitely.
You gave some right. You gave some tips about how you maintain your motivation. And the key point out of what you said that I took was that you had a routine.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
in that routine, you have said to yourself, every day, Monday through Friday, you're going to work out in the morning, right? Just if you would, with adults in mind, if you could share a few tips to the adults who are listening, who are interested in getting started with a home routine, because of COVID right now, not many people are going into the gyms, but somebody who's listening who might not have a fitness routine. I know we've talked about YouTube and, an accountability partner. You talked about your girlfriend that you get on Zoom with two times a week. So have we covered it all, or are there some additional tips that you can share with the adults?
Well, one thing I always say, summer's coming. So that's number one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks for the reminder, Angie.
Summer's coming. Again, I always say, if you can find a workout buddy, I mean, everybody has somebody that they know. If you can find a workout buddy, someone who's going to make you accountable. So say if I'm ready to work out, but my friend isn't ready to work out, but, like, come on, let's go. We got to do this. We got to do this. Summer's coming. Again, YouTube. On YouTube, you have to find something that you're interested in.
Yeah.
It could be, like yoga, stretching, start off really small, or like have your husband, maybe significant other, your kids, walking up and down the street with your kids, with your dog. I mean, something to stay active. It could be anything, you're just sitting there and, taking deep breaths. That's a good workout. Meditating your mind, that you're exercising your brain. Anything. And you can always start with like 5, bring it up to 10 minutes, bring it up to 20 minutes. But those are the things that I would advise anyone to do. But just find, because a lot of people don't like working out by themselves. So if you can just find somebody that will work out with you, something simple. So yeah, that's my advice.
Yeah.
That's very good, because
Awesome.
I like the fact that you say basically not making it intimidating. Start wherever you are, set some small goals, and you move from there. So
Right.
That's good. Angie, those are all of the questions we have. Thank you so much. Do you have anything else you want to share? This is all great information, and I know it's going to be a benefit to our listeners. So we appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.